Yellow people from YouTube, Zadarkus here with what makes a good support. As the field of justice become ripe with unorthodox support, sometimes I wonder to what extent we can stretch the definition of a support. Classically, support champions mean the champion of the bottom lane that operates well with little to no farm and typically also provides map control for the team. However, with the new gold items and the sidestones, support champions of all sorts have cropped up, and so I think it's a good time to revisit the basics. What makes a good support? Now, outside of the obvious map control which any champion can provide, what does a support actually do in the lane? I think you can break it down into three distinct roles. The first one is to soak damage, the second one is to provide utility, and the third one is to deal burst or poke damage. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. The first role is the easiest one for a support player to do and also one of the hardest to successfully synchronize with your AD carry. The technique is as follows. The support pulls away or bait out dangerous AD carry killing spells such as Alistar Pulverize or Leona Zenith and many other spells. To successfully do this, they need highly defensive runes and masteries. Not only melee champions can do this, and with the right runes and mastery, any champion can become super tanky. However, many supports have built-in tankiness, like for example Leona or Alistar. The benefit of doing this is that when supports are soaking damage and dangerous spells, this is an ideal time for the marksman to start unloading some of their damage. This results in good trades and lane advantage. Some points to consider. If you try and soak damage while your marksman isn't close enough to you, then you are not soaking, you are just taking free damage. If your marksman is too close to you, then both of you may end up getting hit by the same spell, which isn't productive. If you have the wrong runes and masteries, you will get out-traded or flat out die before anyone can react. Now, I find this to be the ideal support tactic in solo queue as it gives the most margin of error. Most of the times your AD carry tends to be very squishy, which means that more dangerous spells you can pull away from them, the more likely they will survive through the laning phase. The only difficulty is staying alive, and watch out for those blitz pools. The second one, the provide utility, is the type of I hold, you hit, or the I keep you alive champion. Typically, this is the type of champion that everyone, including Riot, had in mind when they said the support champion. These are your typical healers, shielders, stunners, etc. Since there are so many different types, I won't go into high detail, but I can say that for the most part of a lot of them do very well with smart cast enabled. Cooldown reduction is also a key stat for most of them, and if you can provide the utility from a long range and or soak damage while you do it, then it makes for an excellent support champion, like for example Morgana. Most champions have CC to some extent, so certain unorthodox supports may include champions like Jarvan in the future as a mainstream pick. Now the third type, deal burst or poke damage. The majority of the new support type champions fall into this category, including champions like Vel'Koz, and Morgana. Ideally, most mages deal very rapid safe burst, where they can release the majority of their damage during the duration of their CC and then walk away or do it from the long range. This means that champions such as Brand may even be viable, whereas more sustained damage dealers such as Ryze are less viable, especially since Riot has changed magic damage spells on the AD carry to do physical damage. Now the engagement methods. Wait for the AD carry to get poked and engage on and then go all in on the enemy AD carry, or attempt to land a CC move and then burst whoever is it. Difficulties. Tend to be squishier champions and may die too quickly for a high late AD carry to deal enough damage and make the enemy team back off or die. Needs to be in the position to be aggressive without placing themselves in danger. Generally lacking sustain, are the type of players of all or nothing. Now, with this, my conclusion is as it follows. As you can see, there are more than one way to skin a Yordle, and while Riot has split the mastery into 3 select groups, most supports will fall into more than one tree. Right now, I think that the defensive tree is by far the strongest at the moment, but others may disagree. What do you think? Do you have a favorite support style? Are there any unorthodox supports you think should become mainstream? Please leave a comment below, give it a like if you like this video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe for more updates. And remember that this video has been made for you and that my name is Zadarkos. See you in the next one. Be awesome, stay awesome.